Y'all, we know that Judge Mathis's wife filed for divorce after 39 years of marriage, and Judge Mathis actually had the audacity to profess his loyalty to everyone but to his wife. Well, listen up. It turns out that Judge Mathis's wife is now spilling the tea on the reasons behind the divorce. Linda is out here claiming that Judge Mathis was actually hiding a whole new family from her, and she found out. Honestly, if you find things like this out after wasting 39 years of your life, it's no wonder she filed for divorce. Judge Mathis' wife filed. So, we have been seeing Judge Mathis on television for years. And at least on television, it seems like she is a straight-laced person who doesn't tolerate nonsense. But right now, with his marriage falling apart, we are seeing him in a whole different light. The gavel has come down hard on the Mathis household, and it's not in Judge Mathis's courtroom. Linda Yvette Mathis, the longtime wife of the TV judge, has officially called it quits after nearly 4 decades of marriage. After tying the knot in 1985, raising 4 kids, and standing side by side through 24 years of TV courtroom drama, Linda has decided that enough is enough. According to court documents, she cited irreconcilable differences as the reason for their split. Legal speak for "this ship has sailed."
Judge Greg Mathis's wife had filed for divorce after being married for 39 years. We explained to you that no one saw this coming, but apparently Judge Greg Mathis definitely did.
What's more, Linda is seeking spousal support from Greg. It's unclear if a prenup was in place, and here's where it gets a little juicy. Linda's also asking the court to waive her obligation to pay any spousal support back. Talk about making your point. Y'all, Judge Mathis might have presided over more than 13,000 cases, but it looks like this one case is where he'll be taking the stand. As for Linda, she's ready to close this chapter, and you can bet there'll be more courtroom drama ahead, just not the kind that ends in a commercial break. The thing is, their relationship seemed fine on the outside. With those perfect family Instagram pictures, anyone would think so. So if you look back, the last time Mathis posted about Linda on socials was the beginning of January. He shared photos of the pair sharing a kiss and posing together during a holiday trip to Mexico. He captioned it saying, "Linda and I had a great time celebrating the holidays in Cabo, a great way to end 2023. Last year, the couple also appeared to be in good spirits as they traveled around Europe with Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Samuel L. Jackson, and their wives aboard Johnson's 296-foot Phoenix 2 super yacht. They were snapped in a photo posing together happily with Mathis's arm around Linda, alongside the other couples. So it's safe to say that Mathis played the perfect husband in front of the camera, but the way things are progressing, it looks like the cracks were forming underneath. Just back in March, they were boasting about how they do not fight on things in their family, but maybe if they had indulged in those fights, things would have turned out differently for them. In an interview with Baller Alert, while discussing whether their family reality show Mathis Family Matters would return, the reality show judge opened up about his family dynamic. "We are a whole family, a wholesome family," he said. "We all have our flaws, but we don't fight, never have. If we have a fight, the answer is no to returning." Linda also added her 2 cents to the conversation, saying, "Black families are great families, and no, they're not filled with interfighting. We want to have a strong influence on our community and show that." Looking back, it literally feels like all their responses were scripted, not genuine. And if you are anything like me, it hurts worse than a heartbreak, because Mathis used to publicly shower Linda with affection and respect, so much that he even attributed his success to her. "It was really my family that was the foundation of my success. After coming out of the streets of Detroit, Linda allowed me to work 15 hours a day, 5-6 days a week. So it's that support that allowed me to pursue the success you see. Our love and support runs deep. That's how the Mathis family rolls." According to rumors, Judge Mathis is actually hiding a whole new family from Linda. And not only that, it looks like there's a love child somewhere in the mix. To be fair, if Linda discovered all this tea after 39 years, she'd be hella mad, and it's not something a simple sorry would fix. Anyway, you might not know this, but this isn't the first time Judge Mathis has been accused of infidelity. You see, a few years back, Judge Mathis was called out by Wendy Williams for allegedly sleeping with a woman that was not his wife. You might not know this, but a fan did a deep dive in Judge Mathis's life and spilled the tea, saying, "I'm really surprised and shocked to hear about this divorce. I love Judge Mathis's show. I used to watch it every day about 15 years ago when I was unemployed. I like him so much that I read his autobiography. And yes, the judge is in fact a cheater, or at least he was." As the story goes in his book, him and his wife met in college. At the time, they didn't have family to stay with, so his wife's family let him stay in their home. That was her mother and father. They both graduated P from college and he proposed. One day he went out with a female friend because she invited him to church. They went to the church service and afterwards went back to her home and had SI relations. Apparently, that's how his first daughter was conceived. So his first daughter is from a supposed one-night stand. So he had to beg his fiancée, wife Linda, to take him back after this happened, which she did. Now, Wendy Williams was trying to embarrass him, not only by saying he's a cheater, but that he has STDs, which he did address in his book. He said that he got the clap when he was in his early teens because, of course, he grew up in Detroit and S was very free back then. So all the black kids were humping on each other, and he wasn't immune from that. So he eventually caught the clap, but he went off on her because she was trying to make it like it was present day. Well, I don't know about you, but if Mathis was this wild in his younger years, when he barely had any money, it's entirely possible that he had quite a few skeletons in his mature years when his money was rolling in. If you're a fan of Wendy Williams, you know that she started on radio. What many people love and hate about her is that she's not afraid to speak her mind and put her guests in the hot seat. When Wendy was a radio personality, she was known as a woman who stirs up a mess at times. I'm sure many of y'all remember her legendary interviews with Foxy Brown, P. Diddy, and of course the legendary Whitney Houston, all of which were intense. Anyway, one of her most iconic standoffs was the Judge Mathis, who literally panicked when Wendy brought his dirty laundry to her radio show. At the time, she claimed that Mathis had an affair with a woman in Detroit, but as soon as Mathis heard about it, his temper spiked. Now, if you know, temper spike is usually the biggest giveaway about someone being nervous. Fans speculate to this day that maybe Mathis didn't want Wendy to bring out her receipt that he had started shouting on the show. He even had a lethal counter-remark for Wendy. He said, "You think you can get folks on your show and talk about them any kind of way. Well, that's why I do my show, and my show has higher ratings than yours. Are you still getting high because I just saw you leaving the bathroom looking high? In fact, you got white powder around your nose right now. You still a dope fiend? I need to check you into rehab and pray for you." Well, despite that catfight, Mathis claims that he and Wendy are friends to this day. Just 2 years prior, Mathis made these claims about Wendy, saying, "I think that beyond her flaws and her problems past or present, I think she still means something to the community, and that's what counts and matters. I think that she remains relevant to our community. I asked if she would do a tour with me where she focused on empowering black girls, and I would focus on empowering black men or black boys. So I believe that there's some redemption to be had, and I believe she could still be a benefit, particularly to our community who sees very few talk show hosts, especially black women." Well, I don't know if Mathis is trying to keep his enemies closer or actually being genuine. But one thing's for sure, his sudden interest in Wendy couldn't be something good. Right now, Judge Greg Mathis is in the hot seat now that his nearly 40-year-old marriage is falling apart. But when TMZ caught up with him at Lax, he didn't just answer questions, he put on a show. Really though, it looked like he was literally waiting on them to arrive. Mathis clearly took the opportunity to lay out his version of events, setting the stage for what some might say is a masterclass in damage control.
I'm not good, rather, it's the worst days of my life. How about that?
Okay, well, I'm sorry to hear that. I wanted to ask you, with news of the separation, how are you holding up?
Not holding up very well.
Now, this might seem like a vulnerable confession, but let's not forget, this man knows his way around a courtroom like nobody else. In case you didn't notice, he quickly pivoted to a rather clever narrative, where he painted himself as the overworked, overcommitted husband who, oops, might have neglected his wife a tad while he was out there serving the community. See what he did there? Mathis is setting himself up as the relatable guy who just got too busy, not the villain of the story. He said, "Ever since we started taping here in LA, I committed to staying home more and making my wife more of a priority. But as you see, I haven't. I'm still here on the road doing the same thing, and in terms of going out into another city," he admitted, "I was gone for 3 weeks. That's what July 17th meant." Sources told Closer that the judge was caught off guard by the divorce filing after 39 years of marriage because he had been supportive in Linda's battle of the bulge, even crowing recently about how great she looked after losing 25 pounds. Apparently, friends and family saw the split coming long before the jurist. Underneath the surface, cracks were forming, and Linda had been planning her exit for quite some time. Someone like Linda may appear to have everything a person could long for, but there comes a point when they suddenly realize they no longer want to be trapped by fame and wealth and just want to be their own best self. Linda couldn't face another decade being a background player. According to the court documents obtained by In Touch magazine, Linda hired a process server to hand her husband the divorce papers personally. Despite all that, Mathis is still positive he can win his wife back. According to TMZ, Mathis said, "We are all still in the same house, and we're maintaining a friendship, and I'm trying to get my wife back. I have to show her that, though. Hopefully I can show while we are together before, and hopefully she doesn't complete the process, but I am changing in hopes that she will too. I'm getting my wife back." Judge Mathis played it cool when the infidelity rumors came up, like a sly fox who knows how to work the room. He didn't flat out deny anything. Instead, he leaned into the idea of a misunderstanding. He claimed that neglect could create suspicion, hinting that if you're out there serving the community as much as he is, it's natural for someone to get suspicious. And then, with a bit of a wink, he added that if a guy hangs out too often at a sporting event or with friends instead of a wife, she might just start to wonder what's up. But did he say, "I didn't cheat"? Oh no, Mathis just danced around it, suggesting that his wife might have been a bit too quick to assume, which in hindsight would be a great advantage if the case were to go to trial. He only spoke because he wanted to clear his name. He did not say he wasn't cheating, he said, "I wasn't the reason for the divorce." He's a full-grown man, married 39 years with adult children and grandkids. I'm sure she gave him plenty of time to treat her with value, love, and respect, but he continued to do him. He isn't sorry for what he's done to his family. He's probably upset she finally filed for divorce, and now he's embarrassed it's public. Anyway, I do wish them all the best. Him, her, the kids, and grandchildren. May he allow God to bring healing to the entire family. Another added, "When a man neglects a woman, she will tell him over and over and over and over until she's just tired of telling him. While she's being told to stop nagging, it's actually caring." Judge should have never let it go this far. He can forget it. Too little, too late. She's out, and now you want to try harder than you would have had just to make her happy to begin with. SMH. Been there, done that. Oh, but hold on. There's an even wilder rumor swirling around. Word on the street is that Judge Mathis might be hiding more than just his calendar of public service. Yeah, some folks are whispering that he's been in the closet, and this latest trip for 3 weeks finally pushed Linda over the edge. We all know how supportive he's been of his gay son, right? Maybe, just maybe, he's living a little vicariously through him. After all, Mathis's entire brand has always been wrapped in family values. Remember that time on his family reality show when he nudged Greg Jr. to come out publicly? If your memory's a bit fuzzy, here's what Greg Jr. had to say back then. But he actually challenged me and said, "You have to be that activist. You have to make that step. You have an obligation to show others and to help others and lift them up." I get where he's coming from, like he wants me to really make a difference. I don't know if I'm quite there yet, and just being able to talk more publicly about myself is a big step. I thought of completely staying in the background. Somebody in the South has that same situation that I'm dealing with. Now, this may be a wholesome interaction between him and his son, but listen, conspiracy theorists believe that there might be some shady stuff going on behind the scenes. But hey, before anyone starts slapping that gold digger label on Linda, let's set the record straight. Linda was by Judge Mathis' side long before he had a name, fame, or fortune. The couple were college sweethearts, tying the knot back in 1985, over a decade before Judge Mathis ever hit the airwaves. That show, by the way, went on to run for a whopping 24 seasons, from 1999 to 2023. And it wasn't a run-of-the-mill court show either. It snagged a NAACP Image Award in 2004 and even a Daytime Emmy in 2018. Now, Mathis wasn't about to let a little show cancellation stop him. Just days after Warner Brothers pulled the plug last year, he announced his new gig, Mathis Court with Judge Mathis, backed by Byron Ellen Allen Media Group. And let's not forget 2022, the year he starred in the docuseries Mathis Family Matters, alongside Linda and their 4 children. So, no, Linda's not some last-minute addition to Mathis's story. She's been there through it all, from the grind to the glam. Fans believe that Linda might have been in so much pain in the marriage that she had to let it go. When a woman gives up a marriage that she has spent more than half of her life to keep together, there has been some extra deep pain added onto the pain she's already endured for so long. Linda is in deep emotional pain. Another added, "Y'all need to stop with the 'she doing it for the coin.' This woman has been quiet for 39 years, loving this man through his and never spilling the beans until now. That tells me he did something she could not forgive or turn the other cheek on. It will come out. Enough is enough. And she deserves everything she can get. She has to live. Eat too." That's it for today. See you in the next one. Goodbye.